Hey, it's 60 candles on Doctor Who's birthday cake. My name is Carrie Quinn. This is the Officially Unofficial Geek channel, and this is the inaugural episode of Is It Blue on the Inside? Conversations in Doctor Who. We're going to get to that third part of the anniversary uh, specials in just a moment. We're going to roll that intro first, though, just so you know where you are and all that. Yes, indeed, guys. This is Conversations in Doctor Who. Is it blue on the inside? Inaugural episode, like I just mentioned. My name is Carrie Quinn. This is the Officially Unofficial Geek channel. Guys, Doctor Who has come to its 60th anniversary. Technically, the 60th anniversary is November 23rd of this year, but because of the return of RTD and the return of David Tennant and the return of Catherine Tate, the lovely Donna Noble. Oh my goodness, holy shit. They decided to give us three, not one, not two, but three specials celebrating the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. This also marks the beginning of streaming of Doctor Who on the Disney Channel. If you've been paying attention, if you've been subscribed to the channel, if you've been looking at the channel, if you've seen the posts I've made on social media, this is not the first video I have done in regards to the 60th anniversary specials of Doctor Who. I did two very quick, very short and sweet videos that happened right after I watched the two episodes prior to this. But because this is such a special episode, it's the third of three, like I was mentioning, of the 60th anniversary specials. And because it is it's the episode, let me tell you something before I get into what I'm about to say. Let me pause for a moment and let you know that, guys, if you're familiar with my comic book videos, they are spoilertastic, meaning I'm gonna probably spoil some shit for you. So if you have not watched the third episode of the 60th anniversary specials of Doctor Who, starring David Tennant and Catherine Tate as the Doctor and Donna Noble, you will probably want to pause this video for a moment. Come back to me after you're done, and we'll have a nice little one-sided discussion. It's only one-sided. However, it's only one-sided if you do not take the time to let me know down in the comics. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of the anniversary um, episodes, particularly this one that we're going to be talking about right now. The third, guys, you know what, you guys, spoilertastic. Let me take a moment and tell you that kind of what spoilertastic means. Spoilertastic means that um, instead of just saying that there could be spoilers in something, I have to give it a little more pizzazz, a little more oomph, a little more thing to it, a little more pizzazz, and call it spoilertastic because I have brightly colored hair. I haven't always had brightly colored hair, but right now I have brightly colored hair. Unfortunately, it was much brighter just a couple weeks ago, but it has in fact faded. It has faded. And we're gonna have to dye it again, but right now it looks kind of pinkish and I kind of like it. Um, but anyways, if you have seen my comic content, you know that I get really excited about comics. I get really excited about pop culture as a whole. But what I want to do right now is I want to have this be the inaugural moment where you come to me for your Doctor Who needs. Let me tell you, because if you think I'm a big fan of comic books, if you think I'm a big fan of DC Comics, if you think I'm a big fan of Harley Quinn, Batman, Catwoman, all of those things. Well, you haven't seen nothing yet because um, before there were comic books for me. Well, no, actually, wait, comic books came first for me. Yeah, no. Um, let's just say I am a huge Doctor Who fan. I do have plans for other content besides just talking about episodes of Doctor Who on this it's not podcast on this channel. Um, and I'm really hoping you come and you take a big old trip in the TARDIS with me and you make me one of your Doctor Who stops here at the Officially Unofficial Geek channel, in particular with this series that we're doing, Conversations in Doctor Who. Is it blue on the inside? Now that is a take on the concept of the TARDIS. The TARDIS being a blue police box. Now, the TARDIS is not always a police box. What happened is way back in the beginning, back in the early days of Doctor Who, the story is that the TARDIS landed in 1963, London, and it took the form of a police box. Now, when I say that, it takes the form of a 1960s English police box, basically what that means is that the TARDIS, which is the Doctor's spaceship that travels in time and space, um, it has something called a chameleon circuit. Now, the chameleon circuit is supposed to, under normal circumstances, change the appearance outwardly of the TARDIS to fit the landscape of where it lands in time and space. So, what happens is it lands in 1963 London. Unbeknownst to the Doctor, the chameleon circuit was faulty and just kind of became a 1960s blue police box, and stayed that way. Maybe sometime we will do a little bit of talk about the police box that I have actually seen in London, that still exists. Maybe sometime I'll talk about that at some point, but here we are. We're going to talk about the 3rd anniversary special, which is really good. Let me tell you, it's so good. I had to look up something real quick just to make sure I had the right information because it just happened. So Russell T Davies has returned to Doctor Who, starting with these anniversary specials, um, as excuse me, as the main showrunner, meaning he is the head writer of Doctor Who. Once again, he was the head writer of Doctor Who back in 2005 for the first season of the reboot. And he is back, and that has made a lot of people happy that are fans of Doctor Who, myself included. So basically, this episode is the, like I said many times already, but I'll say it again, the 3rd episode of the 60th anniversary specials, and it is entitled The Giggle. Yes, it is entitled The Giggle, and there's a reason for that. It's a very aptly named episode. Um, one more time, just so you know, please know that this video is a spoilertastic video involving that episode, The Giggle, Doctor Who. And if you have not watched The Giggle yet, of the 60th, I keep on wanting to say 30th, no, 60th anniversary specials of Doctor Who, you probably want to pause this video real quick, go watch it on Disney Plus or BBC Player, whichever side of the pond you are watching, and then come back. Because I am just an American girl that loves her Doctor Who, and I'm gonna just talk about it. Yeah. Whew. Okay, now that I've warned you all, spoilertastic in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, go. Okay, so the Giggle is co-starring. So you have the Doctor, who is David Tennant, like I mentioned, and the companion Donna Noble, who is played by the lovely Catherine Tate, who recently had a birthday. Happy birthday, Miss Catherine Tate. A few years ago, I was visiting Wizard World in Chicago, and she happened to be there. And I had enough money to meet and have my picture taken by one Doctor Who um, person. And God love them. Wizard World Chicago that year, they had both Catherine Tate, I believe they also had Jenna Coleman, and they had River Song. Now, guys, you're going to find out if you stick with me here. River Song is very important to me. I love her. I love River, and River Song is very important to me, played by the lovely Alex Kingston. And she was at Wizard World one year, and that is I I I got my picture taken with Alex Kingston at Wizard World, but basically that meant I was not going to be able to afford to go meet Catherine Tate. Catherine Tate happened to be at Wizard World, and I remember standing there and kind of taking pictures around me and seeing her, and she was signing autographs, and I just like shot my I shoot my shot, and I yelled, "You were my favorite companion," and she did hear me. I didn't talk to her further, but she did hear me because she looked up and she looked around. And she said, "Thank you very much," to the voice that was yelling, you know, "You were my favorite companion." Uh, but so yeah, just a little tidbit of my Doctor Who lived experience, yelling at Catherine Tate from a few feet away on a convention floor in Chicago. Um, yeah, I did that. Um, so, anyways, starring the lovely David Tennant and lovely Catherine Tate as the Doctor and Donna Noble. Now, in the first couple episodes, we are treated to basically Russell T Davies writing um, a resolution to the way Donna Noble's initial story ended. So, which, thank you. I mean, I'm a small channel. I don't know if RTD is ever going to even catch wind of this, but thank you. Thank you so much for coming back, one, and two, giving us that. Giving the fans of Donna Noble the ability to say, okay, it sucks that she had to go through what she went through, but Donna Noble is okay now. Um, and if you are a fan of Doctor Who, you're very much aware of why anyone that's a fan of Doctor Who would be like, thank you for fixing the Donna issue. Um, thank you. So the episode starts out where the last episode ended, where um, Bernard Cribbins had just informed Wilf, playing Wilf for the last time. May his soul rest in peace. That everybody was going nuts, and some of the few people that were not going nuts were people that had prolonged experience to the time vortex, as the Doctor hypothesizes. When they're sitting there and there's chaos all around, people doing exactly how they feel and what they feel, and being really entirely like that part of their personality is just coming out, where there's no filter and there's no reason, there's just raw feeling and emotion. And the unit shows up and they collect the Doctor and Donna, and they're like, hey, go ahead and can you take my grandfather back where he's safe, and they're like, yeah, sure, we'll do that. So that basically ends the appearance of Wilf in the episodes. But the unit picks up the Doctor. Now, one of the things that's kind of funny is that if you were watching Doctor Who during the 50th anniversary special, which I was, one of the things that you saw was the TARDIS get kind of like picked up and like carried by like a helicopter and kind of dropped off where unit wanted the Doctor to be. And so that was really cool that they did that again. It's kind of like a little callback to that moment where you get to see the TARDIS just kind of being picked up by a helicopter and dropped off. So they land at the unit office, and out comes a character that we met a couple episodes prior, and is a scientist that works for unit. And Kate Lethbridge Stewart. Yes, Miss Kate Lethbridge Stewart is there. Thank you. Yes, I love Kate Stewart. Kate Lethbridge Stewart, who works for unit following in her father, Brigadier Alistair Lethbridge Stewart footsteps, um, who is a character from classic Doctor Who, and working with UNIT. Now, one of the things that gets set up a number of seasons ago, while Peter Capaldi is the Doctor, is that in times of crisis, basically all the world's powers decided in times of crisis, if need be, if it's really crisisy, um, the person that can make the ultimate decisions on what to do involving the world is the Doctor. The Doctor becomes basically more or less president of the world. So they're giving him information about what they know so far. When the Doctor comes in, he is met with Mel's. Now, Mel's is a classic companion. Oh my god, that is so cool that she was there. Guys, if you have watched any what you can of the classic series, because some of it does not exist anymore and some of it does, some of it doesn't, and you have probably come in contact, if you've watched enough of it, with Mel's. Mel's is awesome, and she's working for Unit, and it's a cute little like moment there with the Doctor. And so the Doctor is getting that, he has that little moment where he's like, hey, what's up, girl? And the whole that's in David Tennant Doctor way. He does the, hey, what's up, girl? How you doing? And so and Donna's like, wow, I'm not the first redhead. And look, if you follow Doctor Who, one, she was not the first redhead, but two, she was not the last redhead. Um, so they're getting all the lowdown. They're finding out, and they work out that um, the kind of the catalyst for causing all this happening starts in 1925, where a guy walks into a store, buys a ventriloquist dummy, and brings it to his boss. His boss is trying to is somebody that is developing one of the first TVs, some of the first TV like technology in 1925. Um, and they filmed the ventriloquist dummy that they buy. Well, what they didn't realize is that they were buying this ventriloquist dummy from the toy maker. Toy maker is played expertly. Oh my god, I was not expecting much from Neil Patrick Harris, y'all. Holy shit. Okay, Neil Patrick Harris as the toy maker. Okay, the toy maker, let me give you a little lowdown, just a little bit of a lowdown on the toy maker. Excuse me. The toy maker is a character that showed up one time in one arc, Doctor Who, all the way back, all the way back in classic Doctor Who. And I believe, if I remember correctly, it happened during the William Hartnell era. In fact, they have little tidbits in the show that indicate that it happened during the William Hartnell time period, which, if you are not aware, if you are new to Who, William Hartnell is the first Doctor. Nice little callback to the first Doctor. In addition, with having Mouse, who was, I believe, during the sixth Doctor. All right. So the toy maker has now arrived, and now the Doctor has to play the toy maker in a game. Now the toy maker and the Doctor played one game back in the 60s, and the Doctor won. Now the toy maker is back for round 2. So in round 2, the Doctor loses. So the Doctor's like, no, 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 no. You have to do the best of 3. And so then the guy, the toy maker, played by Neil Patrick Harris, so well and so creepy. Oh my god, okay. He is like, "Oh, yeah, you know what? You're right. Let's do this in 2023 because they had to time travel to 1925 to play the second round, okay?" And there's more and more like information about in conversation, and Donna gets to hear about some of the other companions that have come since her, um and what happened to them. And yeah, the toy maker is very accusatory of the Doctor in what the Doctor has done, but Donna's like, you know what, that's not your fault. So they go back to 2023, and the toy maker, who has set all of this up using the ventriloquist and using a giggle from the ventriloquist. Guys, like I could go into detail, but it would be really too long of a video to tell you how the intricate little tidbits. But the toy maker caused all this using the ventriloquist dummy, and the ventriloquist dummy being able to emit a giggle, and it has gone over the crawl, it has infected every screen, okay, in the world, TV, phone, computer, anything that you can watch a video on. The giggle exists from this ventriloquist dummy, and that's how the toy maker is now able to control everyone. So now the Doctor has to do the third game, right? So in the middle of all this, the Doctor takes a mortal wound from the toy maker. Guys, and if you know Doctor Who, you know what happens when the Doctor takes a mortal wound. Okay? You know. You know that it's regeneration time, baby. Now, this is a concept that started way back in the 1960s because William Hartnell was leaving Doctor who is the first Doctor. I mentioned him earlier in this video. And he was leaving Doctor Who, and they wanted to keep it going. So they came up with the idea of regeneration being something that Time Lords can do, and they went with it. And they've been going with it for over 60 years. Whenever a person leaves the role of the Doctor takes a mortal wound, the Doctor has to regenerate, which basically means changes the entire body, but the memories and the soul are the same of the Doctor. And it basically means it is just the moment where you get to meet the next Doctor who. Okay, so the Doctor takes a mortal wound, right? And I'm like all excited, like the Doctor's gonna die, y'all. I'm like all excited. Like people that are new to Doctor Who are like, she's excited that the main character is about to die. No, because technically he's not about to die. He's going to regenerate. Okay. And he regenerates into the lovely, the handsome, the wonderful new doctor, Mr. Shurigawa. Okay? Now, Shurigawa most recently got attention for being one of the Kens in the Barbie movie. He is the black man who was the black Ken. Um, and yeah, so he was in Barbie. That's when a lot of people like saw him there. He's been in other shows like um other shows, mostly UK properties that sometimes people can see over here if they, are savvy enough and they have access. But anyways, um it doesn't actually go off like a normal regeneration though. So something that they did so that one of the things that happened in the 50th anniversary special was, various members of the past of Doctor Who were coming in and playing roles. Now, one of the things that happened in the 50th anniversary special was there was a art curator. And the art curator mysteriously knew a lot about the Doctor. And it was played by former Doctor, number 4, Tom Baker. And they allude to the idea that he is the Doctor, but he retired and he became an art curator. So, kind of playing upon that idea a little bit, when the Doctor goes to regenerate, like the regeneration energy is happening, Mel and Donna are standing there with him, so he doesn't have to stand alone doing it. And it happens, but then it's still David Tennant. Okay. He's like, okay, so actually this feels different. This is weird. Um He's like, can either one of you, because like Mel's and Donna are on either side of me, like either arm, right? Can you all pull? So they are like, okay. So they start pulling on his arms. Well, then the Doctor starts separating. And you have on one side, you have David Tennant. The other side, you have Ncuti Gatwa. And they're all like, looking at each other like, what's up? And there's a bi-regeneration. And now we have Ncuti Gatwa and we have David Tennant's Doctor operating together, playing against the toy maker. Take a moment. You have 2 doctors, like we did with the 50th anniversary special, but this is completely different. I mean, actually, technically, there you had 3 doctors in the 50th anniversary special, but like what? Who's counting? This is something that's never happened before, y'all. This is something that basically makes it possible for David Tennant to return to Doctor Who whenever. Um, Depending on your one's perspective of that, that's pretty fucking awesome. Um, he is considered one of the top actors to play Doctor Who by a lot of people. He doesn't necessarily rank as everyone's favorite. However, he is widely admired as a popular doctor, especially in the new era of Doctor Who that happened 2005 on. So they separate, they defeat the toy maker, and they're like, okay, so what do we do? What do we do? And Ncuti Gatwa's doctor is like, Doctor, you need to just take a seat. Um, you've been through a lot. How about you take a beat. You take a beat because you need to kind of just relax a little bit, and I can handle the heavy lifting. Basically is what the new doctor is saying, what Shooty Gatwa's doctor is saying to the doctor. And he is like, but David Tennant's doctor is like, but I don't feel like I can leave the TARDIS. And he's like, if it happened, if this separation happened between me and you, maybe we can do something about the TARDIS situation. So he gets out of the TARDIS. He has like this big mallet, and he's like, okay. And he kind of just knocks the side of the TARDIS, and it divides into two TARDISes. Ah! Okay, so it divides into two TARDISes, and the two TARDISes, one goes in the other, one goes in that one, and they both go off. And you have like a little epilogue where you have Shooty Gatwa's doctor out doing his thing and starting his journey. And then you have David Tennant's doctor taking time, relaxing, having dinner with Donna's family. Which let's talk about Donna's family. Let's talk about Donna's. Okay, because I mentioned Wilf, um, and how this was basically the last acting of Bernard Cribbins, and that happened mostly in the end of the second anniversary episode. Wild Blue Yonder is the name of that one. First episode was called The Star Beast, by the way. Very good episode. I very much enjoyed Wild Blue Yonder. I've heard other people say that they preferred Star Beast to Wild Blue Yonder, but I like them all equally because I'm like a real dork for Doctor Who. Okay, so I'm a dork. I'm a dork for Doctor Who. Okay. So you have Wilf returning at the end of Wild Blue Yonder, um, and he's gone. They mention him again, but he's off of the set because he is now R.I.P. no longer with us. Um, and sitting at the table are Donna's husband, Donna's mother, who is played by the same actress. Wonderful. And you have obviously Donna Noble is there. Mel's comes to visit, and you have Rose. Rose is Donna's daughter. Okay. Played by the lovely Yasmine Feeney. Yasmine Feeney, if you're into comic books and you're into graphic novels, you might know who Yasmine Feeney is. Yasmine Feeney has actually gained some notoriety on Netflix as the character Elle in Heartstopper, which is the Netflix TV show based on the graphic novel series Heartstopper, same name. She plays the character of Elle, and I am saying she because I believe that is her pronoun. If I am incorrect there, I apologize wholeheartedly because obviously you're going to, from what I'm about to say, you're going to know that I support the LGBTQ community completely. I try my very best to be a very good ally as much as I can. Yasmine Feeney is a transgender actress, um, and she is playing in Heartstopper. She is playing a character, Elle, who is a transgender character, transgender female, and in Doctor Who, she's playing Rose, who is Donna's daughter, for all intents and purposes. But she is playing a transgender character. There's a moment in the first episode of the anniversary specials where some classmates of Rose's dead name her, and it's a very horrible moment. But Yasmin Feeney is absolutely immaculate as Rose Donna's child, and um, has Yasmin Feeney has come under, and the BBC Doctor Who has come under a lot of backlash for this part of the storyline. And before we go any further, I saved Yasmin Feeney to talk about for last, Rose to talk about for last, to talk about a very serious subject, in particularly after this most recent episode that just aired today. The BBC has been getting complaints from people about inappropriate transgender characters. And I am here to say, as a person that loves Doctor Who, as an ally just trying her best to ally, that I am so happy that Yasmin Feeney is a part of the Doctor Who universe. They have every right to be there. Their character is a wonderful addition. And I also love them in Heartstopper as well. I love the character of Elle. I've watched everything that's been on Netflix of Heartstopper so far. There's only 2 seasons, but I love the character of Elle as well. And as Donna Noble, I'm paraphrasing here, of course, as Donna Noble says in the first episode of these 3 60th anniversary specials, she tells Rose, anyone comes after you and tries to make you feel horrible, I am there. And I want to say that to anyone watching here, if you're an ally, you're a part of the LGBTQ community, if you're a part of any minority that might feel a little bit threatened by the fact that there are crusty old white dudes in this world and crusty old white women in this world that don't appreciate you and don't accept you, please know that if anyone has a go with you, I will be there. Just let me know, and I will dissent. That seriousness over. That seriousness over. That's pretty much it. We're at this point waiting for the Christmas special. We have a new Christmas special this year. If you're a fan of Doctor Who and you were a fan throughout the Jodie Whittaker era, I liked Jodie Whittaker. I really did. I liked her as the Doctor. I didn't quite like the stories that were written always. There was some that I very much liked. I'm one of the few, I think, in the world that liked the concept and the storyline of the Timeless Child. But I'm pretty happy that we're getting a Christmas special again, because they stopped doing that. They had a festive, they did a New Year's Day like special, and that's I like the Christmas special. I like that. I like that. Christmas special Doctor Who on Christmas Day. It's a little special gift from the BBC. And we get it back this year. So there is a trailer out there for the first official solo Doctor mission for Ncuti Gatwa. excited. I have watched it. I have watched the trailer. I'm very happy. Um, and yeah, I can't wait. And I will go ahead and I will be doing a little spoiler-tastic conversation, little spoiler-tastic review of the Christmas special with Shooty Gatwa when that happens. Now, it is going to be Christmas Day. That thing is going to air, I think, around, if I remember correctly. If I remember correctly, it's going to be around. I am in Eastern time, and it is going to be probably around, if I remember correctly, around 1 p.m., maybe a little bit before that, that it drops on Disney Plus on Christmas Day. Because they're allowing it to drop the same time that it airs in Great Britain. So that puts it at around 1 p.m., maybe a few minutes before 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in where I'm living. And so when that goes down, I'm going to be watching, but I'm also responsible for cooking our Christmas feast. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get right on the computer and film right after watching it. But as soon as I am able, as soon as I can pull myself away from the Christmas festivities, I will do a little video like this. I also, like I said, with this show, the idea of is it blue on the inside? I want to use that to do more, um, not just talking about individual episodes that air, but talk about other Doctor Who stuff. I've got a little something that I've been working on that I'm very excited that I'm going to bring to you, especially if you're coming to me here and you really haven't watched a lot of Doctor Who in your lifetime. I got a little something brewing for you, people like you. And believe me, I'm really excited to do that and show that to all of you. When it's ready, is a deep dive. And when I say deep, there's a lot to it, y'all. A lot of work I'm putting into this thing. Um, and I'm very proud of it so far. And I hope to continue to be very proud of it. When it's ready, it will be there for you. Um, but it's kind of a comprehensive, at least of the um, Doctor Who from 2005 to now. Anyways, oh man. I just really love Doctor Who. I love the fact that it's back. I love that I'm here and I'm going to get to talk to you guys about Doctor Who. And what I really hope is that you come along on this journey in time and space with me. You join me, and you make the Officially Unofficial Geek channel one of your stops for Doctor Who. So, that's it for this episode of Is It Blue on the Inside? Conversations in Doctor Who. And until next time, keep your eyes and ears open. If you see something, say something. Remember, the complacent never make a difference. And because we're talking Doctor Who here, all of time and space, everything that was or will be, come along with us. We'll be seeing ya. Bye.